morning, everybody. That amazing duo was Sander Mölder and Maris Pihlap. And what you heard was a combination of electronic music and traditional folk music. And what you saw was a great journey throughout Estonian nature. So with all of that, welcome to Estonia, dear WAPES family members all around the world. My name is Eeva, and I will be the host of this conference, and I will guide you through the next 2 days. It is my pleasure to welcome you here in Tallinn at the WAPES 12th World Congress. The last time that you meet up and saw each other face to face, it was 4 years ago. And it was back in sunny and warm Marrakesh. But the world has changed a lot during those years. And that is also the reason that some of you are here in Estonia and the others are joining us through online channels. Those changes I'm talking about also reflect the main theme or topic of this year's WAPES Congress, which is challenges and innovative actions for public employment services in a rapidly evolving labor market. So we are facing a totally new situation. COVID-19 brought us the health and economic crisis, and now in Europe, we are also facing a security crisis. With all these rapid changes, the PES innovative actions are getting even more important. On one hand, PES have to be alert and action constantly. And on the other hand, PES must discover new ways of working and serving their clients. And the individuals are the absolute priority of PES, and you must not forget to put their needs first. And that's why the logo of the Congress depicts a human being who is looking forward to the future. And the circles around it represent the circle of life. But they are also inspired by the logo of WAPES. But now, let's talk about some practicalities. First of all, we have our amazing translators with us, and they make it possible to participate in 3 official languages of WAPES: English, French, and Spanish, and also in Estonian. This entire event will be filmed, and it will be possible to watch it again later. And there will be also a written summary of the Congress, and it will be written by Miguel Beromingo. All of you who are physically in Tallinn, yesterday you received a gift bag. And well, the gift bag was full of really good things. I know that you got a tablet. Well, it was a good thing that you came to Estonia. And the tablet will make it really easy to access the homepage of the Congress, where all the presentation slides will be uploaded. And we will also use 2 applications or apps throughout the Congress for communicating. And the apps are Hubilo and Slido. First of all, let's talk about Hubilo. Hubilo, a link of Hubilo was sent to you on your email. You can open the app when you open your tablet. It will be on your front screen. If you want to sign in there, please do it with your email. And if you want to join a session, just click on the session icon and select your language. If you want to ask questions, choose the ongoing session and open the chat window. And please also write who is the person or the country that you want to ask from. And now let's talk about the other app, Slido. This will be used when a moderator wants to ask a question from you, and you can give your answer through the Slido app. To open the question, you will have a QR code, which will be provided, and the scanning works with your smartphone only, but when you will be given a link, the question will open in all devices. And we have also provided a test question for you, so please take out your phones. And we will show you here a QR code, which I hope will appear here in some moments. Yes, there it is. So take out your phone, open your camera app, and just scan it. I hope that it works. A link will open. So, if you have any problems, you can raise your hands and our staff can help you. It works for you, so nice to hear. And the question is, what does the logo of this year's Congress represent? A, circle of fire. B, circle of friends. Or C, circle of life. So I explained the meaning some moments ago. I hope that you paid your attention. I don't know if we can also see the results, who answered what. Yes, circle of life, this is the right answer. But circle of fire, that one is also a good one. And finally, about today's agenda. I know that it's gonna be quite a long day. Let's open the agenda. So it's the first day of the conference. Right now we are with welcoming notes by the MC. But after that we're gonna have our opening speeches, and there is gonna be 4 speeches. At 10:15, the first keynote speech by Mr. Sang-Hyun Lee. Then it will be 30 minutes for a coffee and tea break. After that, panel discussion moderated by Anton Eckersley. Then it's time for lunch. After that, the parallel sessions will be held in 3 different groups, in 3 different rooms, and in 3 different topics. At 15:45, coffee and tea break again. After that, project overviews. And then it's time for a group picture and conclusions. We will end today at 6 p.m. The buses will take you to your hotel, and then at 7:15, they will also give you a ride to the gala dinner, which will be the crème de la crème of today. But now, it is time to start with the conference, and it's my great pleasure to invite to the stage the Minister of Health and Labour of Estonia, Mr. Tanel Kiik.
Dear WAPES family, as already said, all the members of the board, president, vice presidents, honorary president, and all the good friends of Estonia and friends of all the people who are looking. Sorry. Yeah, and friends of all employed people and from all who are still looking for a job. It's a great pleasure to see you all here in Tallinn, in Estonia, for this triannual global WAPES event. It is an honor and a tremendous recognition to Estonian Unemployment Insurance Fund for their dedicated work and effort to better the field of unemployment in Estonia and the world, and actually, of course, to better the field of employment. With that, I would like to recognize Estonian Unemployment Insurance Fund for the effort in organizing the event and doing a splendid job with it, and of course all the others who have helped to organize this year. Of course, I am also grateful to the WAPES team for their cooperation in making this event happen and for their trust for making this happen in Estonia. I believe discussions we can partake for the next 2 days on challenges and innovative actions taken by public employment services in a rapidly evolving labor market will offer an opportunity for everyone to learn, share their experiences, and get inspired to innovate. In the past few years, all of us have worked in crisis situations, dealing with uncertainty, having to find solutions fast and make them work with least effort. During the pandemic, Estonia benefited from its comprehensive digital experience that made it possible to transfer activities flexibly and quickly to the electronic environment. Teleworking, a quick transition to e-learning, and provision of labor market services made it possible to keep up with fast-paced changes happening in the labor market. Implementing new IT solutions, such as automatic application procedures, decision support tools, help to free up valuable working hours that could be spent on people and entrepreneurs instead of processing applications. It was well-established data exchange tools that allowed us to launch short-term work schemes that we had not implemented before in Estonia, in extremely short notice in 2020 spring. The measure has helped workers to keep their income and kept businesses running during and after the pandemic, hence having a positive effect on labor market and unemployment. During the first wave of pandemic, about 17,000 entrepreneurs and 137,000 employees got support from these schemes, and that is about 1/4 of all the workers in Estonia. So it was actually a very big help and very useful tool that we managed to launch. I think a lot of this actually that I'm talking about Estonia goes about everybody. That during crisis, it's very important to act fast, act responsibly, and to use your best IT solutions, best tools to help your people and help your entrepreneurs. And we saw it over the world that those countries who managed it were more successful during this pandemic, if you talk about economic growth, employment and unemployment rates. Another key element that also goes for everybody is getting to people to trust you. We know that trust between society as a whole and towards public employment services is very vital during crisis. And I'm very delighted to say that the trust in Estonian Unemployment Insurance Fund during the pandemic has been in positive trend over the period and stayed well above 70% in 2021. Such a high trust level shows that steps that organization has taken to support people in need have been well thought through and have had positive effect on people's lives and well-being. Trust, of course, is always based on good cooperation, and if you talk about employment services, then in close involvement of the social partners, as well as visibility and closeness to people. Dear friends, just when it seemed like we were about to conquer the pandemic, and we had maybe a possibility to focus more on pre-pandemic topics, such as aging populations, shortages of skills, and youth unemployment, another major crisis struck. Russia started a horrible, full-scale war against Ukraine that has forced millions of Ukrainians to flee their homes and homelands. Estonia condemns this brutal and unjustified war in all ways, and we are doing our best, of course, to stop it. At the same time, we're doing our best to help the Ukrainian people that have had to flee their homelands, and we know that a lot of them, when we talk about the proportion, have also transferred to Tallinn, to Estonia. Right now, about 2.5% of Estonian population are Ukrainian war refugees. 2.5%, and it's growing. In this crisis, we can also use the knowledge and skills acquired during the pandemic and how to handle unknown situations. The approach is different this time, as the crisis is different. The Estonian Unemployment Insurance Fund has gone out to the field, closer to the ones in need. Some of the counseling is done now in accommodation centers and reception centers. Weekly recruitment days are held to connect job seekers and employers more efficiently. Also, government has taken a lot of fast decisions, and also our parliament, to make the Ukrainian refugees have better access to labor market, labor services, and to have the possibility to live in Estonia as good as it's possible to live as a refugee. In past weeks, we have also witnessed that how our employers are willing to take on refugees, showing flexibility in accommodating their needs and supporting them through challenging times as best as they can. In long term, we must of course be more forward-looking and support job transitions for everyone and in all sectors. We must do it being fair and inclusive to all, while tackling skill gaps and paving our future. For that, we need to continue evaluating and improving labour market measures and their delivery based on the best knowledge and open discussions. Tomorrow, we will hear about the OECD project and provision of active labour market policies in Estonia. Project outcomes have been an inspiration to start the discussion on policy changes needed, and soon enough we will take the first steps to propose legislative changes relying on aforementioned OECD project. It is also important to keep pace with developments in society, labour market and policy making. Everything that maybe right now seems to be in the future will be the present, and soon will be the past. So it's very important to not only try to keep pace, but also try to foresee and as much as possible. It is crucial to invest in future skills, digital transitions, and lifelong learning. At the same time, we have to ensure social fairness and to ensure that no one will be left behind. I thank you all for coming to Estonia. Thank you for organizing this interesting and important event. I wish you all fruitful discussions, and I really hope that you are enjoying the event and enjoying your stay in Tallinn. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Tanel Kiik. And now I would like to give the word to the host of the WAPES World Congress, Eesti Töötukassa. Please, Mr. Meelis Paavel, the stage is yours.
Head külalised.
Dear guests, friends,
kolleegid.
Colleagues,
Mul on tõeliselt hea meel, et me saame
I'm really pleased that we finally were able to meet here in Tallinn face to face. Believe me that in addition
mõttevahetusele, mis me oleme juba omavahel alustanud,
to the discussions that we have already started, we shall also be very pleased when this event will come to an end, because it has been a very strenuous work to prepare it, and I'm grateful to all of those who have contributed. Thank you, Mr. Minister, for good words. The President,
aupresident,
Honorary President.
kui me paar aastat tagasi
When a few years ago
taotlesime
we applied for the right to organize the Congress, nobody could foresee the contingencies we'll face when preparing for this Congress.
siis, kui
At the time, we didn't know how long the COVID crisis will last and that it will compel us
toimumist edasi
to postpone the Congress in the interest of health safety. Nor could we assume that
aastal käib.
there will be war in Europe in 2022.
Kriisid
These crises, as well as other related challenges, have often put to the test the ability of public employment services worldwide to react rapidly, adequately, and efficiently to changing circumstances.
ellu viima lahendused
We had to implement solutions for people and employers
toimimist
in order to support the functioning and development of economies.
ja toimivateks lahendusteks on tööturuasutuste
With regard to the public employment services, the expectation for rapid and effective solution has been high. This said, I would first like to thank the WAPES President and Secretariat for constructive cooperation and confidence in us that enabled Eesti Töötukassa to organize the WAPES 12th World Congress. It is a great honor for us because it allows us to bring to talent together the experts from all over the world and to share with them Eesti Töötukassa experiences and solutions that we have used at different times.
arenguks ja reageerimiseks
The idea of constant development and preparedness to react to changing circumstances is reflected in the leading topic of the Congress, challenges and innovative action for public employment services in a rapidly evolving labor market. Eesti Töötukassa celebrates its 20th anniversary this year. Throughout all these years, we have continuously kept our minds open to development. This has meant not to be discouraged by difficulties, but to see in them triggers for new developments and solutions.
näoga arengu ja uute võimaluste
Such attitude to face development and new opportunities is characteristic also of today's Congress logo, a human being looking forward to a positive future. Dear friends, for us, the development is not limited to IT progress, and innovation is not a goal in itself. Although in this area, we belong to the leading country in technological innovation, we have always searched for a better balance between face-to-face support and digital services, as well as automated support facilities.
meetmete mõjuhinnangu tööriistast ning
In the following
tuginevast otsustustoe
2 Congress days, we are going to introduce our toolbox for machine learning model of the labor market measures impact assessment.
positsiooni langeda, vaid selle asemel leida nutikaid ja uudseid lahendusi inimressursi
We are determined not to prevent our organization sliding into a comfort zone, but rather to search for smart and innovative solutions how to combine our human resources and technology. I am convinced that in the search for effective solutions, dialogue is essential and involvement of all stakeholders.
teha tõhusat koostööd.
Töötukassa social model allows for very efficient cooperation.
kriisi ajal ja taganud ka
This has been tested in various crisis situations, also the COVID situations, and also secured us funding. What tools are used? What are the pros and cons? How social partners have been involved? Will all be discussed during the Congress. 13 years ago, when I undertook the governance of Eesti Töötukassa, we primarily were in the learner's position. At the time, whenever we saw potential to
jagada. Siinkohal on WAPES
cooperate of those who have something to experience to share with us or used it. WAPES, in this respect, is a unique network of organizations of labor market policy implementers with the goal to foster information and experience sharing between various institutions around the world. For Töötukassa, the WAPES membership and the experience sharing with other countries has verified that although numerous challenges may be similar, it's good to benefit from the support of the network partners, as its support has given enthusiasm and inspiration to us. Now we feel mature and courageous enough to share our own experience with the others. The good example of that is the cooperation agreement we signed yesterday between Azerbaijan and Estonian PESs. I would like to thank you for the trust you put in me and elected me to the managing board of the WAPES.
Just sel kaalutlusel, et eraldi tähtsustada vastastikuse õppimise ja kogemuste jagamise väärtuslikkust,
bearing in mind the goal, the Congress contains a separate session on bench learning, emphasizing the values of peer learning and experience sharing in various regions of the world. Töötukassa has thoroughly reflected on the bench learning process because we have also contributed to it in the European network of public employment services. It has been a good tool for self-assessment and dialogue with the experts of the area. Activities of public employment services are constantly under the scrutiny of the public everywhere in the world, either due to the unemployment or workforce shortage problems, especially when economies are in crisis, because jobs and income are guarantees of livelihood and independence for people. Our ability to support job seekers and those who transit from job to job by helping them to find this suitable and stable employment is of critical importance. How efficient we are in offering viable solutions to labor market participants, how we act in crisis situations, provide relevant support to the most vulnerable groups is a long process and shapes the best image. With a strong reputation and trust in us, it is easier to face any labor market problems in the future. The primary role of all PES is to ensure the resilience of the state and nation. This trust is enhanced by effective cooperation between the public employment services in the network. This topic is also part of the Congress agenda. Dear colleagues, I have outlined the topics of the two-day Congress and the underlying consideration for the choice of these topics. I believe that 2 inspiring days are ahead of us. Once again, I would like to welcome you from the bottom of my heart. Welcome in Estonia, in Tallinn. Welcome to the WAPES 12th World Congress. I hope that you'll enjoy these days, find exciting food for thought, make new contacts, and in a week's time will return to your routine tasks, reinforced with practical and useful ideas. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Paavel. I would now welcome to the stage the President of WAPES, the PES of Morocco, ANAPEC, Mr. Mohamed Achiq.
Monsieur le ministre de la Santé, et du travail d'Estonie.
Honorable Minister,
Le directeur général d'Institut Ocassin, Monsieur le Président
Honorable
de l'ANSEP, Mesdames et Messieurs les
Director General of the Estonian Unemployment Insurance Fund,
de l'ANSEP, ici
Honorable Honorary President of WAPES,
l'assistance.
members from
Je
various
tiens d'abord à remercier
public employment services from all over the world. First,
sa
I would like to thank Mr. Minister for attending
travers vous, Monsieur le Ministre,
our
je tiens à remercier l'Estonie.
event, the opening of the Congress, and
Je remercie
let me
également
extend my thanks
Monsieur Meelis
to Estonia for the warm welcome that we have received.
ce congrès et
Mr. Meelis, Paavel, I also thank you and your entire team responsible for the Congress. The reception we've experienced has been wonderful. And many thanks also to Tallinn city government.
qui met les
As you said, the world is
face à des défis
uncertain, and obviously the public employment services are facing extraordinary difficulties and challenges. We need to be able to adapt to changes quickly. One of the tasks of our organization is to encourage better communication, exchanging of ideas between various public employment services. Yesterday, we elected new executive bodies for WAPES, and we did that so that the organization would grow to be even stronger. And today we will have a meeting of our scientific council as well. Mr. Meelis Paavel already mentioned some of the topics that will be discussed and talked about today and tomorrow. I think it's very important to talk about cooperation also with the social partners.
à la pandémie.
There's a lot that public employment services can learn from the pandemic that we've experienced, exchanging
Big data,
knowledge, experiences about how PESs can use the AI, digital tools, etc. It's very useful. Estonia is a champion of the digital domain, and this is also very noteworthy, obviously. There are also other important topics, such as the visibility, reliability, trust for public employment services. There is also a lot of pressure on us, especially during the pandemic, on our organizations. There's another thing. To offer inclusive, easily accessible services for people is essential. We must be able to provide services for those who are most vulnerable, and we also have to analyze and evaluate how high-quality services we are offering. In summary, to conclude my short talk, I once again thank the organizing team, the technical team, the interpreters, and the interpreters also thank the audience. I wish you all the best and enjoy the 2 days in Congress. Thank you.
Permettez-moi, Monsieur le Ministre, de vous remettre un petit présent.
Mr. Minister, if you allow, I would like to
Ça me fait plaisir de vous le remettre. Merci, Monsieur le Ministre.
offer you a token of appreciation from WAPES.
Thank you.
The most important thing. Right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Achiq.
What's your answer?
And now it's time for the welcoming words from the President of Honor of WAPES, Camille, Mouté, Bidias.
Monsieur le ministre de la Santé et du Travail d'Estonie, Monsieur le Président,
Honorable Minister of Health and Employment, Mr. WAPES President,
Service public d'emploi d'Estonie, Monsieur Meelis,
Head of the Estonian Unemployment Insurance Office, Mr. Meelis Paavel,
de l'ANAPEC,
the
Monsieur
members of the WAPES organization,
des syndicats
ladies and gentlemen,
et des
representatives of trade unions,
Messieurs et Mesdames,
as well as employers,
à ce congrès, tout protocole grade et rang respecté,
participants of the Congress,
Mesdames et Messieurs,
ladies and gentlemen.
quelle idée de génie, quelle idée de génie,
It is unbelievable, the unbelievable idea
de créer
that 6 countries had in 1988 when it was decided to establish such an organization. What an idea it was.
dans l'union, dans le partage des idées et des expériences, et c'est dans les appuis
By moving together, by sharing ideas, by supporting each other,
à réduire le phénomène du chômage à travers la
the world will be able to reduce unemployment.
les thèmes
By means of public employment services of various countries. The topics under discussion at this Congress
ce sont des thèmes qui concernent notre action
prove that these are very relevant topics, and they are a daily discussion topic in PES.
par de nouvelles idées
And I am sure that all of you will leave this Congress reinforced with new ideas, knowledge about new best practices that will allow us all to improve the choice of the services we deliver. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Minister,
doivent relever.
we face the same challenge, all of us.
Certaines régions du monde connaîtront des taux de chômage très élevés. La mise
For as long as
ceci va continuer.
a very high rate of unemployment exists in one region of the world, as well as poverty, it influences all the other regions of the world.
Tous les jours, certainement que c'est des
You have been witness to this, or the migration crisis.
jeunes personnes
Daily, we see awful
méditerranéennes
pictures of young people, children, babies,
une meilleure vie ailleurs dans d'autres pays.
drown in the Mediterranean Sea when they're trying to flee from the home country in search of better life in other countries. Of course, it creates difficulties also for receiving countries, and these receiving countries, host countries, should find appropriate solutions. As the WAPES president just said, I believe that it is an excellent organization, a very useful organization, the organization which helps all public employment services to develop further and improve the choice of the services. Because we are fighting against unemployment in our own countries. Yesterday, we elected the new president for the organization,
Féliciter
and I would like to use today's opportunity
et immense
to congratulate all of you, to wish you all the best. We are facing huge problems in the post-COVID era. The pandemic was a breaking point for us. It hindered our work. I wish you all success and also best wishes to the new managing board. Mr. Minister, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to conclude by thanking the government of the Republic of Estonia, which enabled this warm welcome to all of us, which enabled the conduct this meeting. This is a meeting that will give new momentum to our organization. Many thanks to the team of President Mohamed, Achiq, and the Secretariat, Eve-Marie. You have done a tremendous job, which is not always visible. You have worked behind the scenes in order for this Congress to be a success. My thanks go all to those who have traveled to Estonia.
Monsieur Paavel.
I'd like to thank also Mr. Meelis Paavel, the head of the management board of Eesti Töötukassa, and your team, because your team has also done a lot of strenuous work to realize this event, and all of you, I thank for your attention.
Merci, Monsieur Bidias. Before we move on to our first keynote speech, I would like to take you on a world tour. We have interviewed job seekers, employers, and pest workers from different regions of the world. We asked them about challenges in today's labor market. So let us listen what they have to say.
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm from Australia. I manage a beef cattle station in central Queensland, Australia. We're struggling right now in Australia to gainfully employ people who are wanting to come out in the rural sector and stay in the industry for not just a couple of years, but for 10, 15 years. And so Australia is a very big country, and isolation is a fearful thing for people who aren't brought up with it. And so we're struggling to try and get people to come out rurally and stay in the industry for ourselves, so we can then, pass on knowledge and further progress the industry in an upward direction.
Hi, my name is Elnur. I'm from Azerbaijan. I currently work for State Oil Company of Azerbaijan Republic as an HR Deputy Director. I would say that they are always thought about that after 5-10 years all the jobs will disappear, but I'm a little bit more optimistic about it, because I think that some jobs will disappear, but some jobs will be, new jobs will be developed. The core competencies, core soft skills will be same, like communication will be same in the future, like learning agility. If you have learning agility, it used to be required 10 years ago. After 5 years, the same competencies will be required. Of course, due to digitalization of the business processes, due to automation of the business processes, some tasks will be removed, but some tasks will be automated and will be replaced with computers or programs, softwares, or robotics. But even that situation puts more, how to say, demand on soft skills like communication, like managing people, leadership, especially in distant work. Leaders has to, they have to, I would say, motivate their teams. It's easy to motivate them when you are in office, but it's quite difficult when you are working in distance. So leadership would be another required skills for the market.
Hello, greetings from Korea. I'm Byung Kim, in charge of finance in GS Caltex.
Hi, my name is Dae-jun Kim. We are doing business in the field of the AI, OCR, and AI vision software development field.
The COVID-19 crisis has further increased and accelerated the impact of the ESG trend on the related companies, especially for the part of decarbonization and plastic waste regulations. GS Caltex is also accelerating large-scale investments of and portfolio transformation to react to these rapid changing trends.
Actively embracing this online environment into the business environment is one of the recent efforts to change the organization and the culture of our company. So for small business like us, well, it is difficult to secure the talent and then good worker. An online platform is a good helper like us. Yeah, thank you.